Demolish all violators. Yo, it's too many styles. Who's the best now? Before you bow me, son, you better get your weight down. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Wow, it's like Ace of Spades versus Cisco. It's the boom, bap, boom, bap.
It's the Boom Bap Hour, and I'm your host, Miss Ruby V, and we're here with a very special guest, a very dope artist. His name is Tahmell, and we are so happy to have you on our show today. How you doing today, Tahmell?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. I definitely appreciate it. You know, I love it when I could just talk and people listen, and then I could also listen too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. Most definitely. Well, we're just so happy that you decided to join us today. Thank you for coming and, hanging out with us. And, we just really want to, get to know you, get to know what you're doing. And definitely, just let us know all about like the project that you have out right now and the inspiration behind it. Food for thought. So tell us all about that.
So food for thought is I'm in the middle of just putting out content, and that one was more so like, all right, I feel like I have things I need to say without trying to preach to people. So like the food for thought, it was kind of, you could get your tray, and whichever you choose, you can kind of get something in that dish. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is a message. You know what I'm saying? You can have a little dessert, you can have a little main course, but then there's a message somewhere in that whole dish. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. And food for thought was, it was a project that I also reached out to a lot of producers personally, and gathered beats and created like I guess you could say, like, I created the a 100% meaning behind the food for thought when I brought in other sounds, because the message is more than just me. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to create that.
That's what's up. And this is your second release, right? Your first one was called Home. So what was the biggest difference between your first release and Food for Thought?
The first release was when the corona had hit and all that. It was just, everyone was stuck at the crib and you couldn't really do nothing. So I figured take that time and use it, and just create something from home, instead of, because I like to write from inspiration of being out on the road, or just outside experiences. But that particular was just about being home. A lot of people sit there, they go through their thoughts, they go through they little, they days, they got ups and downs, all at home, not even out. And they say leave home at home, don't bring that at work, don't bring that shit to work. So that's what that was. That was home. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I mean, there's just so many so many people that it forced you to really focus on yourself. And if you definitely had something to say, you're gonna figure it out during that time.
Yeah. Word.
That's for sure. So what was it like, growing up now? You have an infamous father, Rakim. Okay. I mean, what was it like growing up with your father as a musical influence?
All right. Well, as a musical influence growing up, he didn't become my musical influence until I understood what it was that he was doing. Even though I was out on the road with him when I was a kid, but I was a kid. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I wanted to go to school. It was just something that dad did, and I wanted to be with dad until school started.
Mhm.
But like once I was in school and people found out who my pops was, they'd come to me and be like, yo, your dad, blah, blah, blah. Your dad, this, that, and that. So I'm sitting here like, all right, word, all right. So one time, this lady called the house, left a message. It was to do the Rugrats movie. So we sitting there listening to the lady on the message, me and my sister listening. It was like, oh snap. I picked up the phone. Hello? Brought the phone to dad. I said, Dad, it's the lady from the Rugrats. She wants you to do a song. Brought the phone to him. He picked it up. He sure enough, he did the song for the Rugrats. And then now I'm in school, like, yeah, my dad did the song with the Rugrats. Now, nigga, yeah, yeah, that's my dad, nigga. But that's once I figured that out, then middle school and end of elementary school, middle school is when he became the influence in my music. The music, well, because I didn't really start doing my own music until um, I'm talking about recording in the studio and shit till like middle school maybe. He wrote my first rap when I was a kid, when I was young. I used to recite it to everybody. Um,
I know I
so
had
like
to.
yeah, but now that was something like, because when I was growing up, he was he taught me a lot. So like he had a lot of notes and stuff for me. So when he wrote a rhyme for me, it was more like notes. So when I didn't take it as a rap, like it wasn't like, oh, this is something that you could rap and start and grow from. Like it was just something that when people ask me to bust a rhyme, because I'm out there and we doing music, I got a rhyme to bust. So it was really like notes to me. So once I got older and realized that's when he became, the influence.
Wow.
Word.
Well, what a wonderful influence to have, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, you still,
Word.
even though, I mean, you just started middle school, you still started very early, you know what I mean? Even at that point, for you to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
the point of where you are now. So, that's
Word.
just wonderful. And I saw a very interesting fact. Okay, so of course, in your bio, it says when you was born, which was July of 1988. And I looked, and Eric B. and Rakim had released Follow the Leader on July 25th, 1988. I said, well, that's so dope.
They kicked my dad out the hospital when I was born because he was on the phone. His phone kept ringing. He wasn't answering it. He wasn't answering it. It just kept ringing, ringing. It was one of them, remember them gray joints, the long gray phone for
The big ones,
Yeah, he had
like it
that
was
one.
Blue Jack City, where they was like, what's up?
Yup. He had that one in his pocket, and it just kept ringing and ringing and ringing in the hospital. Whoa.
Wow. Well, man, I mean, just the way that the universe lined that up. See, that just means that you meant to do this. That was just the sign right there.
Whoa, I
Just
definitely
aligned up
believe
any
it.
better.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I definitely believe that.
definitely. And I mean, you've definitely carved your own lane. I mean, you quickly gained recognition. You said from Fox, ABC News, New York Weekly, WRCB TV. So, how did it feel, how did it feel getting the kudos, like the first time that you seen it, you know what I'm saying? Like on those stations, like how did that feel for you?
Um, it feel dope. It's something we obviously we want the recognition. So when we see it, it like gives me more fuel, gives me more motivation. It makes me want to, maybe they could see me again, write about me again, or just let me just stay doing something, or let me just keep, being in the eye, or just something where I could, where they could catch me again. But that's just more fuel.
Definitely, definitely. So basically, I'm gonna ask you a loaded question. Mhm. Loaded
Oh,
question. You
okay.
ready?
All right. Let me
So
make sure this is lit.
Yeah, light it up, light it up. Go ahead, go ahead. So, why do you feel, in your opinion, that hip hop chose you?
Now, who said hip hop chose me?
Well,
In order for me to feel that way.
well, I mean, basically, as far as like your passion, I really feel like, I know me, like I'm a visual artist, right? And I paint. So I feel like it was just like kind of deemed upon me, like, like art chose me. Like when I'm in it, it feels like a spiritual experience. You know what I'm saying? So I feel
Yeah.
like that's where it came from. And maybe everybody feels different, you know, but basically, how has it worked in your life? When was the moment you just felt like, this is what I was meant to do. This is what, was I was, you know, uh, I mean, you could say chosen to do.
Well, I'm gonna say this first because you got to be careful sometimes because sometimes people put pressure on themselves.
Mhm.
Um, Now people have expectations. Now that's regular. The pressure now that someone might think so much, like, all right, I didn't choose hip hop didn't choose me. That's a lot of pressure. I
Mhm.
chose hip hop
Mhm.
because I felt like I needed it. I felt like when someone come to me and tell me like what my dad did to change their life,
Mhm.
or what song was playing when something in their life happened and it happened to be my dad and they told me the story of what was going on. I'm like, damn, I don't even know this person. And they just stopped and opened up for 12, 15 minutes about, something personal that they probably never told anybody close to them. So that was like, yo, yeah, I want to do this too. Like I want to be able to touch people that way. I want to
Mhm.
be able to have the soundtrack to people's lives to be able to when they going out, a certain record come on their mind and it just remembers them. It reminds them and they remember the smell of where they was, or you know what I'm saying, where they could see the whole scenery of wherever they was at just because the song came on. And that's what I'm trying to do too. So that those stories is why I chose hip hop.
And I love
Because I
that.
could have been a football player.
Right, right, exactly. And it's like, just because, you know, you um just because you grew up a certain way or had a certain influence, you feel what I'm saying, doesn't mean that that's, like you said, that's what you're gonna do. You feel what I
Yeah.
mean? So, definitely say that's why you chose hip hop. So I love that.
Hmm.
Most
Word
definitely.
up.
Yes. So, interesting facts. I love just asking personal questions. Interesting facts about you. So, what do you feel? Okay, well, do you watch a lot of TV or anything like that? Like, what do you feel is the best thing, or movie? What is your favorite movie? Or if yeah, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Um, there's this movie, Finding Forrester. It's an old joint. Um, I can't remember the names of the actors, but it's called Finding Forrester. It's about a young black kid from the Bronx. He was a writer
Mm-hmm.
and he was a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And but he was a better writer than he was a basketball player, but he loved basketball more than he did writing. So,
Mm-hmm.
I related to the movie a lot because there was things that I wanted to do and there was things that I loved to do and there was things that I could just do. You know what I'm saying? So that dope that movie got a lot of messages. It's dope. Finding Forrester.
Okay, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. I love recommendations on great movies to watch, because some of those things, you think is, just watching a movie or reading a book or something like that. There's
Yeah.
some of those things could actually, like, I know I have something, feel like I changed my life. Some books, some movies, that I've seen, it can tell a lot about you.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
things that you really like, you know what I'm saying? So definitely just want to, before we wrap it up, where is everything that we can find your music?
You can find it anywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, all of that. Just type in Tahmell, Tahmell. You can look for the Food for Thought. You can look for the Home Project. I got a couple singles up there. I got a joint Epidemic, Fire, produced by my man Nick Wiz. Um, you know what I'm saying? I want to shout out Messy Bun for all my graphics, all my pictures, all my cover arts, dope designer, Messy Bun graphics, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we just keeping it going. I'm everywhere. You can find me everywhere.
Dope, dope. Well, thank you so much for coming and, spending your time with us today. And we definitely want to have you back on our show. We're actually going to be doing, once this COVID and everything passed, we actually getting ready to do like a tour called Bars for Your Mind. So we actually definitely want to be, have you be a part of that for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. Word up. Definitely would. I would love to be a part of that.
Yes.
Bars is my thing.
That's why you on the show. Exactly.
Word.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming and hanging out with us with the Boom Bap Hour. And just keep it locked, y'all.
No doubt. Thanks for having me. Signing out.
Peace.
Peace.